I've had a chance to talk to this guy several times over the last year. Had him actually take me on a tour of Fort McMurray, and now to talk about Fort McMurray Public Schools, Mr. Aaron Lyons and his wife Dana joining as well today, talking about this because you guys grew up here in Fort McMurray.
We did, born and raised, both of us. Yeah.
Well, I've had a lot of time to talk to you about growing up in Fort McMurray. Dana, what was it like for you growing up in Fort McMurray?
It was fantastic. I've got tons of memories growing up in McMurray.
Now, what was your favorite subject in school, Aaron?
Well, gym class, really. Seriously. No, I like math, science. It was kind of I like when there's a real answer to questions instead of like writing an essay, on something.
Oh yeah, and now what about your favorite teacher? Because I know that I've had my favorite teachers that influenced me over my school career and have really made a difference in my life. If you had to pick one from Fort McMurray Public School that actually made a difference in your life, who would it be?
If I had to pick one, there's been a few, but probably a guy named Mr. Orchard. He was, when I went to Beacon Hill School, he was my math teacher and gym teacher, so I guess that's why I like math and gym. But, yeah, he was great, and he was a family friend as well, so that's the other thing that's great about Fort Mac. You had your teachers weren't only your teachers, but lived down the street and became friends of yours too.
And what about you, Dana? What was your favorite subject to school growing up here at Fort McMurray, and a teacher too?
I'd have to say language arts. That's one of my favorites. And phys ed.
Yeah. And what teacher? Because you are or were an educator at one point, so you must have had a teacher that really struck you as someone who changed your life.
Yeah, I'd have to say Mrs. Demers. She actually taught me at Clearwater School, which is no longer a school, but she was my social teacher. And then when I became a teacher, she hired me. So she became my boss after. So she was a good mentor as a teacher too. It was fantastic.
Now, there's always the good side of things, Aaron, and we got to switch right to the bad side of things. Grade 11 physics was a horror show for me. I want to know, Aaron Lyons, the country music star, what subject, if you could go back and just go, oh, I'm never taking that again, ever?
Maybe physics as well. Just because it was, because I like math, and it wasn't that I didn't like it. It was just it's hard to grasp some of that stuff. So that was probably the one I had to work the hardest at.
We had a good physics teacher, though.
We did, yeah.
Mr. Montgomery. He was a great teacher.
We had a great teacher, yeah. It was just one of those where getting your mind around it was a little harder than some of the other ones.
Did you have to do it twice? Like I went back, and because I failed it the first time, I said, I'm going to go back and do it again. Did you fail it?
I didn't fail it, no. I made it through, but I don't remember how well I did, but I know I made it through, so maybe I might have blocked it out.
Now, Dana, you guys met not at Fort McMurray Public Schools, but you both went to Fort McMurray Public Schools. Maybe you can tell, because Aaron and I have talked about this, the story of how you guys actually got together.
We actually went to high school together, but we didn't really talk much in high school, but we moved away and went to a party with a mutual friend.
University in Edmonton, yeah.
Yeah, and he actually went to high school with us too, and we met and
we just
spent all night talking. Yeah, and it's funny because I went home and I told a girlfriend and I said, oh, we clicked, we talked all night, but he didn't ask for my number. So I thought, well, I guess nothing's going to become of that, but all of a sudden,
we hold their number
a week later.
What's that?
A week later or something. Yeah, he called and he figured I'd be at school, but I wasn't, so he was hoping to leave a message.
I used to have a system where I try to call when they weren't home, so that if they didn't want to go out,
so you can be rejected over the phone.
You leave a message, if they call you back, then you go over. But she answered.
Yeah, it kind of threw him off. He was like, oh,
That's pretty cool. But did you know when you first met Aaron that he was going to be this big country music star? Because he wasn't when you guys first met, was he?
No, he wasn't. He was working towards it, and I was hesitant because I knew he was going back and forth to Nashville, and I didn't know singers have reputations. So I asked all my friends, and I was like, oh, are you sure that, that he's safe? And they all had amazing things to say, so.
Yeah, I was the first time I called her, I was in Nashville. I was making trips back and forth, so it's kind of just starting to get some things going down there. Mm-hmm. It was, and then
so
she
I
moved down
hesitated
later.
a little bit, but.
It all worked out in the end.
It did, yes.
She blew me off the first time. She did.
I did.
How many kids later is it now?
Two.
Two little girls.
Capping it off?
No.
No.
No, probably not, no.
All right.
Can we?
Putting you on the spot here. This is, parents going to be watching
Yeah,
this.
there's 2.5.
2.5 there, yeah.
All right, and now the final question being, if you could go back and not take a subject in school, if you could avoid something, what would it be? Other than physics. Yeah.
Whew. I don't know. You know what? I actually enjoyed school, so I.
What about chemistry?
Chem or yeah, so social studies. There was lots of memorizing that, so
Oh, really?
and reading. So that was one that was a little harder.
And what about you, Dana? For something, if you were to go back, you wouldn't do it again.
I think math. I didn't like the numbers. I like social. I love the history, but yeah, I guess we're opposites in that way.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate you doing this together. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Really tough summer jobs, including, I know that in his bio he talks about digging ditches and building ice bridges and working construction, and I did those things too, and we have that commonality, and that's probably why we're both today entertainers. He sings, and I'm not really sure what I do, but I try really hard at it. But I'd like to bring Kelsey up because we have a medal presentation for him, and this is because this gentleman shows all of you and your children and all of us that we can do anything. We can do anything from here. Anything we want to. All you have to do is set your mind to it like this young man did. Let's hear it for Aaron Lyons. He's actually been working out, you can tell the pecs are solid. This is something that's given to great Canadians for showing their greatness, and Aaron Lyons is no exception to that. So he gets to wear this at special occasions. It is granted to him by the Government of Canada, by the Prime Minister, and by the Queen Elizabeth II. So congratulations again, and thank you so much.